Francine, I wanted to go over to you, and I know you have a whole specialty in helping people out of their stressful situation. So, what advice do you have for people, our viewers today, to uplevel their life?
So the people that come to me are typically overwhelmed, stressed out, burned out, and are starting to wonder, how did they get here? And they've lost the joy and passion in their life and in their careers. And sometimes, in fact, most of the time, they come to me with, I think it's time for me to change careers. I don't have the passion in my career that I used to have. And yet they've spent years in that career and they have expertise in that career. And they feel kind of guilty sometimes and wonder, wow, I spent all these years doing this and now it doesn't bring me joy. Well, before you jump ship, um, my goal is to get you to start really looking at where you are first. And what we do is a personal SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for, the S is strength, W is weakness, O is opportunity, and T is threat. And so you can imagine that strengths and opportunities kind of go hand in hand, and weaknesses and threats tend to go hand in hand. And businesses have used SWOT analysis for many, many years to up-level businesses. This is what they use to figure out, where are you now? Where are the strengths and weaknesses? What are the opportunities and threats? So they can create a strategy for moving forward. And this is how businesses have up-leveled businesses for years. And most businesses do it at least once a year, sometimes more often. But people, individuals, have typically don't do SWOT analysis because it looks like a business tool. But I'm here to tell you it is not. It is a tool to be used in your personal life. So when clients come to me, you and I sit down and go through the SWOT analysis, and I send you home with the SWOT workbook. So one of the things you can do is to do this on your own. You don't need the workbook to do this. You need 4 pieces of paper and title them Strength, Weakness, Opportunities, and Threats. And to go through and honestly look at your strengths. And I recommend you don't just do it yourself. Do it yourself, then go talk to your husband or wife, your significant other, even your kids or your coworkers, your boss, and say, well, what are my strengths? Because let's face it, we're our worst critics. And you'll identify some strengths, but you're not going to identify all of them. And then to look at your weaknesses. And this one's kind of hard because we don't like to look at our weaknesses, but be honest and go back to your spouse and say, what are some of my weaknesses? Here's a clue. Look at your strengths and flip it over, because that's going to be your biggest weakness, and write those down. And then when you start looking at those and then looking at opportunities, once you do the strength and weaknesses, then pretty soon opportunities start showing up. If you look at your strength and you're like, I could do this, I could do that. And they've been there all along. You've just been missing them because you're kind of stuck in that burnout. And then look at the threats, look at your weaknesses and say, if I let my weaknesses go without improving on them or getting some help, what could happen to me? Because the threats are usually the result of letting weaknesses run your life. When you've gone through a SWOT analysis, it'll give you a clear picture of where you are. Because if you want to up level, you need to know where you are so you can design good strategies to get you where you want to go. So SWOT analysis is something I do with all my clients, and I find it's like a miracle. It opens eyes.
Yeah, this is brilliant. I mean, awareness is the key to change, and that is a fabulous tool for getting awareness. And I'll have to.